phones around like they do no smoking.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, and now we are into hour 6. We're probably a little bit over that, but that's fine because this is, we're just making it up as we go. Roughly into hour 6, how'd that feel to you?
A lot better than I thought it would.
Nice.
My body retained some memory.
Nice, sure did. I could see it, especially like on the drip down coming up. You were having a lot of trouble with that, but the functional alignment and awareness we created last time did stick, and that'll happen more and more with this. Your balance is still there. I can still see improved core strength and things like coming up to your knees, from the leg wrap. Very good. So we're going to go deeper into understanding some of these exercises again like we did last time, as well as adding in some new ones. But really important to understand that with nothing but the moves we did just now, she could teach very easily classes for a long time just with those moves because we didn't repeat one exercise. And in a typical fitness class, you're going to repeat a lot of exercises over and over again. We didn't repeat one of those. You do a few sets of those, and 1/3 of those movements could easily cover class, right? So it's much more important to get an understanding of a small catalog of movements than like a bunch of stuff, even though you know how much I like to just add stuff on and teach people to do fun and new stuff. We have to focus on reducing. Let's see. We're going to deal with how we begin to train balance. We talked a little bit about that this time in hip rock side to side. That's one simple example. Anything you're training in balance, you've always got a given number of variables that you're dealing with. So you have like the equilibrium between any two opposing forces. So all you do is you figure out what are the forces that you're dealing with, and you devise simple ways of exploring A and B. Like what's the furthest this way, what's the furthest that way, and the way we do that with centered, like seated stall, is hip rock. So we're using that hip rock to see how far we can go this way, how far we can go that way, and then, oh, wait, there's the center, okay? So we're going to do that in any number of ways. The exact same principles apply in side stall. A lot of people have their butt on the back of the ball, the same way you've been seeing. So it's like about pushing them to the top, push them to the front, let them feel the front, let them feel the back, let them feel the front, let them feel the hub. Oh, wait, there, that nice mid-ground in between those two extremes. And that's part of the beauty of tantric practice, is that nothing is viewed as sacred or anti-sacred or whatever. So any experience you can use, positive, negative, yin, yang. Oh, here's center, here's truth. I mean, they're all truth, really, but this is sustainable. That center point is sustainable. And so that's going to apply to anything. We do the exact same thing on the knees. Hip rock side to side. You can grab that if you need to. Hip rock side to side, hip rock front to back, and then, oh, there's the middle. So that's one of the main ways that we train balance. One of the main ways that we train power, there's two principal characteristics I talk. There's a whole lot of elements to power, but the two principal ones are concentration and alignment. Okay, concentration is where power comes from. Whether you're dealing with electricity, then you funnel it in and you let it charge up, you let it build, that gives you more power. If you're talking about sound, you put it through a system that raises the amperage and you get more sound. It's about concentration. And then alignment is about functional capacity. So we were talking about leverage, right? So if I'm doing push-ups and my hands are way up here, this is very poor alignment. That's going to be a very hard push-up. If my hands are way down here, that's poor alignment. That's going to be a hard push-up. If I'm right here, that is going to give me the strongest alignment so that I'm getting the most out of this muscle. So controlling the mind is concentration, and it's different than concentrating, say, energy or sound. It's a different type of concentration, but you get the exact same effect from it. So it's not concentration in the sense of taking out the water and making something thicker, the way we're talking about concentration with energy or sound or light. It's concentration in terms of focus, but it creates the same experience because it's doing that to awareness, so it's distilling awareness. And then alignment. And alignment is it's an experimental process. So, for example, on push-ups, I literally have people do push-ups with their hands up here. I move them down and doing them down there. And now you experiment to find that middle ground. And a whole lot of that is inherent in that path of least resistance. So you're going to search, what's the best way, what's the most efficient way that I can complete this movement. Then for flow, the main thing that we want to do is we want to reduce friction in the body, but also in the mind. Flow comes from reducing friction. Reducing in the mind friction is second guessing, poo-pooing, fear, regret, and those things do the exact same thing to the mind that friction does to the body. It wears down the parts. It creates tension. It slows everything down. So we want to reduce friction in the mind, and we want to reduce friction in the body. And those two things together create a state of flow. Make sense? Any questions about any of that? Awesome. Any thoughts, questions?
No, just I had a thought earlier when you were talking about the balance and like putting them forward and backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is when you also start this, you don't know what it's supposed to feel like. You don't know where center feels like.
Right.
So until you're actually put there, like there's a few times where he'd move you and you'd be like, oh, that's so much easier.
Yeah.
But it's like until you know where that's supposed to be, it's going to be hard to feel your center because you don't know what it's supposed to be feeling like.
Right.
So
But when you get there, it feels
you instantly
effortless,
notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
when you put there.
Yes, and so a good example of power, meaning concentration and alignment. You gotta have concentration because you had to be aware of where each of your body parts are. You can't just do the move. You have to know, okay, so this is here, this is there. Alignment, first thing we do, straighten the arms to go down the plank or to drip down. Straighten the arms, and what that does is it makes your body be back over the ball in an equal amount as your body's out over the ball that way when we're here. When we're here, we're not balancing. The body wants to slip down and our weight is too far forward. As soon as we do this, which is a structural alignment, that's an alignment cue. Straighten the arms. Now everything is equidistant, right? And functional alignment, when you're coming up, keep those arms straight. Activate the core to pull the hips down, because she was trying to come up. She was trying to do that sit-up, and everybody does that. And that's not going to get the most effortless, the most flowing, or the easiest movement. That sit-up, you know? So you let the back arch over the ball, and then engage the core to pull the hips down, right? Both of those are alignment cues. Anything else? Let's do it. Booyah.
Am I still doing, or what are you doing?
You're watching right now. I'll let you know if I need something. You can take notes, ask questions.
I'm going to answer some emails first.
That's it.
And why I started giggling right then was because I totally had a dream the other night talking about going into drip down with the arms straight and why. Like I was just trying to remember, did I see a video of that or did I dream it? And as he was describing it, I was like, no, I totally dreamt.
Okay, so we're going to start by letting you do drip down. Tailbone goes back, fourfold. Hips come under, dripping all the way down. I want you to forward. Leg raises on the front. Dripping all the way down to, yep. Arms straight. Come back, go back again, Go straight, hips come under. Yep. Now three, over the ball, good, nice, very nice. Beautiful. Good, now we're going to do the right leg first. Keep the leg straight, toe pointed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more, we got it. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, your foot. You can stop pointing if you need to.
Yes, my toes are like.
Right. Oh. And other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Now some cues here, engaging the core, keeping the legs straight instead of bending it, pointing the toe, relaxing the shoulders, not having tension up here. All of those are cues that are going to help this happen better. Good. Now coming up out of this smoothly, softly, back arch, arch straight, engage the core. Okay, so do drip down a few times for me and search for the flow of it. So we're going to work on keeping those arms straight because she's still having consciously, sorry.
It's okay, sorry, I'm just trying to answer these emails.
You still having consciously straighten your arms, so more just physical experience doing it. Good, 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 good. Make the center for your ball. On trip down, the ball's always going to move forward. Good, good. So you have the most trouble remembering not to bend when you're coming out.
Bend my legs, my arms.
Your arms. Yeah, you have a better time not bending when going down. So just a few more to keep your arms straight. That's right. That's right. Good, good. Good. You didn't use bending your arms as a crutch to get out of that position. Yeah, good. Good catch. Good. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to drill vocabulary real quick. Don't worry about how many you get or not. I got to ask you questions to see what you actually know.
You gonna ask when I go into the move or just tell you?
I'm going to ask you to do hip rock, side to side. And that's called what?
Hip rock.
What?
Hip rock. Hip.
Side to
To
side.
side.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty good.
Good. And show me hip rock front to back. You always have to designate between those two because they're very different move types. And then what's the thing we do after both of those?
Circle.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially when I get the right answer.
Right. Okay, so as you put your foot in your crotch and you stretch down to one side, you know what that's called? Lazy pigeon. Let's go the same ways, but just do that.
Oh, this.
Yeah, lazy pigeon. This is pigeon in yoga, and so we call it lazy pigeon because we hang down. Okay, so you're dropping your chest and you're going to drop your hips. There you go. That's lazy pigeon. Good. Back up and gently down. Down gently into that and really feel yourself stretch. Let that be light. Lazy pigeon one more time. Good. Back to center and switch. Good. Do you guys want to wine or anything?
Do what?
Do you guys want any wine for the
She
screen?
doesn't drink.
Take some beer or something. Very good. Yeah? What do you call it when we do the legs around the ball?
Wraps.
Leg wraps. Leg wraps.
Leg wraps.
Leg wraps. Now, I want you to do this right now until you start to feel exactly what that's working. Tell me what it's working. That's a whole lot of different muscles. That's core, hip flexors, adductors, inside and outside of the legs, obliques, into the flop, make it soft. You want to make everything juicy, everything delicious. Good fix. That was awareness. Say what?
Works everything. Juicy wraps. Juicy wraps.
Juicy wraps. And what do we call it when we go down flat on a fabric?
This way, plank.
Plank, exactly. So work your way down the plank slowly. You see what that looks like. Not going straight down into it, but slowly warming the body up. Another thing, and Shar, you need to know this, another reason I have them go down slowly like this, I mentioned, so they can feel where their core is. I also want to see if they're where they're at the end of the bar. When you go down slowly, you can see if they need to scoot forward or backwards. Working their way down, you can also tell if they're bending their arms, so too much is this way, straighten those arms. Too much of your body is this way. Okay, that's a better point. Can you feel the difference? That's that alignment.
So I start and then straighten the arms.
As your hips come under, yes, exactly. As your hips come under, straighten the arms. And we slowly work our way down to plank. Core stays over the center of the ball, and ideally the belly button should be right under the bar in the center. Beautiful. And remember, when you come up, you're going to come up that same way you come out of your trip down. Too long to straighten your arms, and your core was too far this way, so your legs were hanging down. I don't think so. I think you brought your core too far under. Nice.
Does that look good?
Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Your legs are hanging down a little bit. And help you find root. Good. Good. So that, having that fixed ball, that, having that, oh, there it goes. Having that straightness feels like it's like way more energy. And so a lot of people will be softer, but softer, you're gonna have less power. Then you're not gonna last as long if you let yourself be draped, arched.
It uses them when you have to really support your arms.
For some reason, strong and straight is gonna last a lot longer. And I've been balancing on the ball in a lot of different ways for a long time. So I just know that from experience. So let yourself come under and let your legs hang down on the count, and then we're going to do one with it strong. So you're going to be floppy like you were before I fixed you. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on. Okay, so you made it 6 or 7 before your body really started going, okay. So breathe for a second, Now we're going to do it strong. I want to see how long you last before I start to see your body really straight. Straight and strong this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up.
I really felt that. Since what happens.
Felt it meaning hurt or like?
Really, like they were working for some reason.
It's not bad for them to work.
It doesn't seem like those, like they're counterbalancing something.
I don't know. We can find out. So as you talk to me or Shara about what you're feeling, I want you to be really clear.
It's like rubber bands in my back. That really feel this tightening.
Okay, I want you to be really clear about what type of pain you're feeling. Because there's a pain from doing a rep and just the burning the muscle, right? That's good. We expect that. There's another pain of the body going in a direction it shouldn't go. You know, a counterindicative pain or like a grind inside something. That's like, so I want you to be real clear if something it's like it's a muscular pain, which is like what we want, versus it's a something the body doesn't want to do. Is that something? So it was like it was struggling. It was making a muscle work that was challenging, but it wasn't doing something that felt like it was bad for your body. Okay. Did you feel that you stayed stronger longer? You held that longer than when you were mushy?
I felt like I was really working instead.
Well, right. And then what happened? You were stronger longer. That's my whole point. Is creating that feeling of like strength of like I'm going to be a bridge. Your body's going to work more than this, but the point is that it's going to last longer. That strength in the mind, the body, once it makes this connection and it feels this, it's easier for it to stay here than here because this isn't solid. This is kind of moving, and it's going to keep, it's going to keep melting. But this, the body knows exactly where it is, and it commits. Bam. And that strength will last a lot longer. So let's do another one and see if we can get you any more aligned because that's going to give you more functionality every step of the way. That's where you want.
And where's my head?
Say what?
Where's my head?
Wherever it's most comfortable. And up. So right now you're having a tendency to take your low body. This is center. And the easy way to find center, and you were doing this before, is this. Okay, so this is center. This is where I'm getting most bang for my buck. You have a tendency, you're coming down here, which puts more tension in my abs. It's making stuff shake that wasn't shaking when I was back here, and it's more weight in my arms and shoulders too. So you want to find this place. Boom, over the ball, boom right here. I could stay here for a long time.
You're a circus boy.
I am circus boy. Nice. Yeah, my head tends to stay straight. Some people keep their head curled like that. I don't think anybody lets it relax back. Keeping the head straight in alignment with the spine just makes the most sense to me if I'm visualizing the strength of the bridge. And keeping it forward is going to give you tension in your neck. Quicker. Beautiful. Up. So that's plank. What's that movement when we come all the way down called?
Plank. Oh.
Drip down. Drip down. And back to center.
You call this plank with drift down?
Say what?
So you call plank with drift down, or you just
No.
call plank in it?
Plank is stopping in the middle, drip down to them all the way. Like this plank, drip down to there.
So what is this? Is this called anything?
That's forward fold.
Or
So in yoga, forward fold. Forward fold.
Hasta?
Say what?
Hasta, head to toe, head to knee.
That would be the Indian, that would be the Sanskrit term for it. It's called forward fold in English.
Okay.
Ask you go back just a little bit. Okay. Then you remember what we call it when you bounce on your hip?
Side.
Hip stop.
Oh.
So, hips, yeah.
Or just a little, or
yeah.
just a little.
Hip is just the hip, side is on the all the way down. Yeah. And then whenever you're doing balancing the hip, maybe take one hand away. Why do we do that?
Center.
There you go. You're going to see if you're not balancing. When you switch hands, you'll see balance the other way, Nice. And then what's the next move we do after that?
The kick.
What's it called?
Side kick.
Side kick. What's the main point, or what's the main thing to keep in mind on side kick?
The shoulder comes down and it's catching.
That is a secondary point. First point is that the core sticks over the center of the ball. Come down. The core sticks over the center of the ball. That's the primary functional alignment cue. Core sticks over the center of the ball. This is the secondary cue. So we got primary cues and secondary cues. Write that down, please. Thank you.
Mr. Secretary?
Foot is above the height of the bar. You don't want to be kicking way up here on the side kick, above the height of the bar. Toes pointed. The low leg, toe is going to point into the knee. Another secondary cue. Opening that leg down. Come on. It's something you have to get used to and you have to do it on your way down. It can't be an afterthought, so if I go to here and then I try to fix it, it's going to be weird. But if you start to feel the balance of this curve, it's like the body shakes instead of like this, now I'm floating on top of the ball. This, I'm like curved around it. So once you start to drop that knee as a part of the movement, it won't throw your balance off. And when you start seeing pictures of yourself, you'll understand why we dropped that knee. It's way more pretty. With that like open instead of going straight at the camera. Primary cue is core over the center of the ball. Secondary cue, shoulder dropping straight down. And it'll be the outside shoulder. Drop straight down. Foot above the height of the bar. Lower leg, toe into the knee.
Is it more down or is that pretty good?
That's pretty good. It'll get, the more you work on it, it'll get easier and easier. And when you start seeing pictures, that'll give you that fix it. Side kick. What do we call it? Side kick. And your legs are going up and down.
Reps, side kick, reps, side kick,
Everything's reps.
side kick, leg,
Leg raises, leg lifts, and technically they're lateral leg lifts, leg raises. Sides, would be leg raises in the back and in the front. So lateral
side kick,
leg lift.
leg lifts.
Yeah, you don't have to put lateral in the side kick because you're going to the side, so it's obvious. but we need lateral leg lifts because leg lifts can be down here and grip down with the front. It can be Superman doing rear leg lifts, you know. So we need lateral to know where those are actually coming from.
Lateral leg lifts.
Lateral leg lifts. So give me a few real quick. Yeah. And on that, going both legs stay together. People will try to just move the top leg. Also, we want all of the legs to go down and up as high as they can each time. Good. And then what do we call it when you're on your knees? Knee stop.
Knee stop.
Knees. And then ups and downs, we call knee raises. Because you're on your knees, which can raise your floor, moving down. We call those knee raises. Good. We call these, I usually call them so-called hip rock side to side, but technically it's knee rock. So side to side and front to back. Knee rock, side to side, front to back. I think I used to call it a combination of hip rock, knees, or something like that. Circles, yeah. And that's for do calibration. A lot of times I'll make people do calibration first so they can see where they're at, then teach them all of those things, and then do calibration again. Don't usually do that. Don't usually do that unless people are doing it. Okay. And so then the way we teach the leg reps is we start going down to the hip from your knees and then right back up. And that's hard enough for most people. Like that'll kick most people's butt, just that movement. We're still figuring out all the different cues you need to help people do this because everybody does it wrong differently. You know, your core over the center of the ball is one of the prime ones. Coming down front of your foot out from under your butt, that's a prime one.
Having the strength to lift your butt up a little bit.
That helps. Doing that thing you were doing though, a lot of people do that and it makes it really hard, which is instead of the core coming straight up, staying with the ball, when people come back up, they come over the top, and then from here, it's really hard to get up once your hip comes over the top of the ball. But if you stay above the ball and bring everything under you, and it's pulling that core, the upper body, really visualizing it coming up.
Yeah.
Good. I don't think you've done this yet, but this is a great place for you to feel it. From here, I want you to go under your hip that way, and then go all the way in, all the way inside kick. Boom, nice. Now come back into your knees. Boom, nice. Again. So this is a combination of two separate movements, and all we've done is create, come back. All we've done is created a different transition between those two. Nice. Awesome. And that's knee stall, two side kick. Alright. So now for Superman, we do, we teach knee raises. Wait, come back. We teach knee raises first. People have to learn up and down first. Next thing we do is you come up and you let your knees come a little bit behind your core. So what you just did there, your butt went backwards. That's not what we want. Come back down. Straight up. I want your butt to stay here and your knees to go. Yep, that's just a little bit, and right back down. So we start them there so they can feel the knees going behind the core. Yep, good. Yeah. Nice. And then you can take them down, and the way we say it, the feet move away from you, body slants, and you roll down nice, gently and softly. Good. To come back up, you're going to do that pull up, and you're going to go up towards the end. Nice.
Now, you did the, to help me when you did currently.
The pull-ups first, well, let's do some pull-ups. Up first, legs behind you, nice, good. Good. And then just do your pull-ups up. Yep. Good. That's going to strengthen those shoulders, strengthen the core.
Oh, that
Beautiful.
really stretches.
Try to keep the space between the arms the same, otherwise you're going to be developing imbalances in the shoulders. Good. Your call. You know what you're feeling in your body. I've never been a 60-year-old lady before.
Yeah, right.
And they said it's not,
Hopefully you never will be.
not in this lifetime. I'm sure I haven't before.
That's-
Not in this lifetime. Okay, so Superman, get the leg raises first, knees behind the core second, feet moving away from the body and coming down a big diagonal line. Coming up, it's that pull-up movement we were just doing, and you're going to pull up as high as you can before you pull the knees in. If you pull the knees in early, you get that butt out thing that makes it really clunky. Put yourself up as high as you can, then the knees in. Nice. Nice. Very strong.
Getting better. That's the last one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Nice, nice, nice. Both of those are very clean. Very clean. Superman. And we call that come up knee curl. Because that's its own exercise. So in Superman here, pull knees into the chest, that's knee curl. You just did it. Come up. I'm just saying that movement itself is also often called knee curl. We used to do it on the floor with the ball. So we'd do plank on the floor and then you pull your knees into your chest. Like that stuff's knee curl. That's where Superman came from. I just realized when I did it on the bar, it looked like Superman instead of plank. Boom. So in Superman, that's where you'll get leg raises, rear leg raises. Oh, and then you did pull-ups here in the form, the dragonfly form. We do that same pull-up, but we go under the bar, and that's called scorpion, or scorpion pull-up. Boom. I don't think your shoulders are strong enough for that yet, but right here, scorpion pull-up. Is there anything else we covered today?
You can just follow
Wrap, leg
No, we
wraps.
didn't.
We already talked about that, and then we did leg wraps to knee. We covered trip down, side kicks, leg raises, front and back, and side. I think that's all we got today, so let's go back to doing some water. Okay, do some water. We're going to go back to a couple of other things we got before, so we'll do legs straight up in the air and then work our way into inverted fold. And then I'll teach you a couple of new moves. So far, it feels like you're retaining a good bit, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's raining. Yeah, we're supposed to get some cold front coming through the next couple of days.
Yeah, to be.
So your mom
Virtual
has
blizzard.
real good retention so far.
I was watching.
Of
The
not only the moves, but the names and
Oh, nice.
stuff. And we're going to need a lot more follow-up on alignment and pieces and everything. But what's crucial is her getting the names and then knowing the movements. Like,
Nice.
what is the movement that goes with the name?
What were you doing?
We're going into half pipe, which is just like plank, but your legs are going to be straight up in the air. Well, this one isn't so tricky, but inverted fold is tricky. So this is a prep for inverted fold. Just like that, with legs straight up. Yeah, boom, that's it. Come right back. And you want to coordinate that movement, make it as easy on yourself as you can, but you don't need to.
That's good.
No, yeah, that's good. That's good enough. Not straight on that one. Yeah, good. Good. So start coordinating how raising your legs helps you come up and down. You know, use your legs to help that. as much as you can. Nice, nice, much better that time. Core's already starting to drift under the bar naturally, that's good. Start paying attention to where that point is that you're gonna have to switch to push right there once you start going. Don't start pushing yet, but just start noticing where that point is, because that was one of the things you were working on. That was one of the things that was challenging you on inverted fold. So this is half pipe. Do you know why this is called half pipe?
So it's not a full bike.
Exactly. Understanding why we name things will help you remember the name. So you're like an L instead of folded, or folded like an L. So pipe is like a four-fold. That.
Is that like a swimming trick?
Yeah, when they dive, that's pipe.
So, hand pipe or?
Yep. And core slowly going a little further under each time. Yep. Nice. Good. So we're going to work you gently into inverted fold the same way we work you gently into plank, and that's going to let you feel that place to shift. Both works a little bit more. That's going to let you feel that place to shift naturally instead of trying to force your way into it. And people are terrible with patience, so you have to literally make them be patient and slowly work their way in. Everybody wants to start riding an elephant today. It's like, start with a horse, too.
That's easier.
Yeah.
The horses. Nothing moves slower.
Nice. Go forward just a little bit. And now you're close enough that you can start pushing out all the way into inverted fold. Notice that place where you switch to that, you switch to your push. It's gotta be gentle and smooth, and you can't be pushing yourself down the ball. You need to be pushing yes, exactly. Pushing yourself that way, not straight down.
Nice.
Good. Nice.
A little wobbly, but out
That's
there.
good, that's because you're pushing straight down. Don't push straight down, pull yourself under, and then push yourself that way. So don't come to here and push down. Come to here, come under, and push away.
Edge of the ball.
Take it all forward just a little bit. Sounds good?
It's so good, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's so smooth.
So 4:30 is the end of our second hour.
I think it was 40 when we started.
Say
I
what?
think it was 40 when we started. Was it 30?
2:30-ish. Beautiful. Nice. So that is
Half
half
pipe
pipe,
and fold.
inverted fold.
Half pipe. and
So this is forward fold. That is inverted fold. You're upside down. Make sense? Right. Let's get her. Did she do vert kick at all? Let's teach you vert kick. Say what?
Okay.
Oh.
So it sends you on clock.
Yep. So you're going to start in the middle. Right hand, back of the right hand's on the ball, fingers pointing this way. Left hand's here, and start just by doing a lunge. So twist that foot out and lunge like you're reaching with this hand for that hole right there, and right back up. Now, as you do this, roll the ball all the way up your arm into your armpit to then lean onto it here. People want to just like cheat that, but you got to roll all the way down. Boom. Double shoulder apart. Feet double shoulder apart. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Roll all the way up the arm. Good. And come right back up. Yeah. Keep those feet wide.
Starts in the middle of that.
Yes, ma'am. Good. This movement here, you want to lower your torso so you get a straight line with the gap between your arm and your rib cage. Good. So this is the beginning of a movement. What do we call that? Prep. Prep. So preparation for something more. Feet double, shoulder. This is a prep for vert kick. Vert kick. Vertical kick. It's like side kick, but it's going straight up in the air. Good. And now we take it another step. So now same thing, but you're going to actually lean into it and grab this bar, palm down. And start by just coming to side kick here, just so you can feel that. Boom, boom, boom. Same thing, but we're just going to go through further, grab the bar, side kick here.
So this I'm sliding down.
Just a little bit. Yes, ma'am. This top foot's going to be straight. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Now this foot goes back down there. Come back up to where you're standing. Beautiful. Leg still wide. Good. Again. Nice. Very nice. And back. Good. And now we're going to go all the way up with that kick. Same way again. Good. And let those legs come up as high as you can. So you're trying to arch your body this way, twist onto your back a little bit, and then you can get this leg higher easily. Yeah. And then right back down. Yeah. So each time, twist on your back a little bit more, try to get that leg straight towards the ceiling if you can.
Let's do that.
So, as close as you can. So try. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Come back. Okay. What happened there? How about real quick? As you're rolling the ball down, you're going to roll the ball towards the center bowl here, like this, so that it's under you and supported. That time, you rolled it like here, so now it's like away, ball under. Roll that ball in towards the center so that it's under you. And then what I mean is, if I'm on my side, that's about as high as I can go. But if I twist a little bit onto my back, right?
Oh, I see.
So, boom, and that's vert kick. Back down. Okay. So, yeah. Good. Nice. Booyah. Give me 10 of those. Nice. Beautiful. So where you're putting your hand here is crucial to where your ball ends up there. So if your hand's here, it's not going to be in the right place. It's here, it's not going to be in the right place. So make sure it's in the center of the ball, right in front of you. And then roll all the way up the, see, wait, stay. See this? We don't want that to come up. It's going to roll all the way up the end. There you go. Yes, ma'am. Grab in the middle of this bar. It's better. Try to grab in the middle. You're grabbing down here. Yep. Beautiful. A few more. So balance. Now we're working with power, one place to another. Good, awesome. We're going to switch learn on the other side, and then we're going to connect both of these two to begin to touch flow. Don't cheat, stay in the middle. Yeah, you should be in the middle, going to either side. Yep. Good. You can practice with your lunge first, coming back and forth if you want to, yep, or you can just go down, it's up to you. Nice, nice. Yes. Sweet. Okay, so keep going. Every single movement we do can be broken down into smaller and smaller pieces, not just for learning, but also for training. So this move, that raising the legs there, we can isolate just that move, that vert kick, boom, boom, leg raises. You got it.
I like how you did side kick first, and then.
Say what?
I like how you did side kick first, and then rotate it to the back.
That's the first time I've ever done it that way.
I like that, because I feel like a lot of people don't get how to put the leg up.
Right.
And that really helps show the breakdown.
It did, and she got it immediately with that too. Yeah, that was
Well,
just
it's not actually a
instinctive.
side kick. I think it's, I
No,
actually
but-
think it's misleading.
Well, you
Where I started you
how
at
you
the
do
side
it.
kick. Because I told you to just bring your, like, well, side kick, I don't know how that's misleading you.
But it doesn't, it's not.
The final pose isn't side kick, but the breakdown.
Right, but the way I taught you to do it was go into side kick
Yeah.
first, because your body already knew that. And she's never seen me do that before, because I've never done it that way before. That was a spontaneous thing that came just.
It's not side kick, pure, this.
That's vert kick.
So you do side kick first to get that.
But I started doing side kick because everyone has trouble because everything's all crossed, and so they can't figure out what's supposed to go where. This, you already know side kick, and you're able to find that easily. Once you get side kick, going up from there is a lot easier. You're starting to cheat that way, so that's going to put you pinched up. Yep, better. Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Gorgeous. Now, just so you can feel it, go up, do a vert kick, and then do leg raises and vert kick, just so you can see what that feels like. You like 4 or 5. Occupational hazard. Yeah. So now down and right back up. Boom. That's a serious core exercise. Very nice. Lower abdominals. Good. And coming out. Sweet. Very nice. Very nice. Now we're going to connect these two for flow. So you're going to do one to that side. You're going to come back to the center. You're going to switch hands when you come back up. And you're going to go right to the other side. Switching across the middle like that. What's the definition of flow?
Your definition is,
The definition.
hang on.
Seamless
effortless,
and effortless
effortless.
transition between any two, or seamless and effortless transition between any one moment and another. Very nice, very nice. Yes, yes. It's all right. First time. Let it be wonky. Good. And all the way back again. Try not to get your butt under the bar. Nice, nice. Yes, yes. Good. Now let it all blend together. Let it all be one, two. Nice. Go, girl.
Chicken butt and taking neck.
Just come back to your center. Everything squares out. Legs are wide. And begin again. So the trouble you had here is when you switched, you put your hand in So when you switch, remember I said your hand has to start here. When you switch, you put your hand further out, or maybe it was not as far out, whatever, but it pushed you further up here, because when you switch, you got to be, because that is going to give you, and how that works, so like the thing I built was perfect for like the average body. Don't, it's like, that's why I don't claim ownership of any of this. It just came through me. But if it's right there, that's going to be, and almost no matter how tall you are, it still works the same way too, which doesn't make any sense to me. When you come back to the center though, don't stay hunched over. Come. Very nice, very nice. Beautiful. And we have flow.
Very pretty.
One more. Nice.
It was so flowy. Sometimes you do a big push.
Right. It's hard to not get carried away. Very nice, gorgeous work kick.
Yeah.
What time is it?
4:35.
Beautiful. Let's bring it in. All the pieces.
That's nice. Some flows.
Good job.
All right. End of hour 6. Okay, so we covered pretty much all of the exercises that you've learned so far. You're getting much more familiar with the names and the movements. Real impressed with your knowledge of vocabulary at this point. And then we learned a little bit more about functional alignment on certain movements. You felt some new realizations on hip rock from knees. Your hips go over too far. It's really hard to get up then. Bring that core straight up, knees under you. We found some good alignment stuff on drip down and on plank. And then we added a new move, vert kick, and then we began to connect them. How did flow feel?
I love flow.
How would
It's
you?
like a flow.
Feels like a flow, right? So eventually every single exercise we do can be connected to any other exercise just like that. And that's where you get that flow.
It's nice when the mind stops having to think so much.
Definitely. There is a book called Flow that I would recommend both of you get, written by a guy whose name nobody can pronounce. It's ridiculously long. It's like Czechoslovakian or something. But it's fascinating because what he calls flow has been called like, what do they call it in sports? Like you're in the zone. And when you're in the zone, when you get connected and you're in that place where time stops, effort stops, and things just happen and take care of themselves. He wrote a whole book about the psychological study of that state of mind and how the state of flow can be experienced inside of any process, and then it has very specific structures to it. Very, very good book, and very neat to see how flow can be created with something like one of the guys, that's the happiest that they talk to. He's like a laborer on a manufacturing line, putting trinkets together. And he just created a game that he plays with himself about how many he can do in a certain amount of time, and his output is way higher than anyone else's, and his enjoyment of the job is way higher than anyone else's. He created a state of flow doing a completely menial task, and so flow as a principle of life, it goes way deeper than we can imagine. And in my experience, it's the most quintessential factor in happiness and like feeling joy and value from things is that state. And I've been a game maker since I was little, so I've always made games out of anything. And so I think that's why I had so much experience with flows, because I was just making games. And when you make a game, you automatically create a new relationship between you and the thing that you're doing. Okay, great work. We're going to take a break, get some water. bathroom or whatever. We'll come back for our, so what time is Nicole coming? 6? 6? Okay, so we'll probably get 3.5 hours today is my guess. So we'll take maybe 10 or 15 minutes and then we'll do one more for today and we'll just call it 8 hours, you know. We've had to have time to eat. Need to have time to eat in an 8-hour day. Once in an 8-hour day, you probably would have an hour for lunch, so it'd probably be 7 hours of actual learning. So from that, you're getting an extra 30 minutes.
Half an hour for lunch.
Well, you really need an hour because you're going to be flipping upside down again. You don't want to do that on a stomach. So yeah, we probably will do a full hour for lunch. And we're going to be in really awesome, incredible places where like we want to go and like sit in a cafe on the cliffs overlooking the sea, you know, before we go back and sweat some more. So planning all of this for like traveling workshops. Like it's got to work on the road before the end of the year. I want to be in a different city every weekend. All right, great work. Very proud of you, and great job demonstrating. Good job texting.
It was working.
I know. It's, you know. And we'll jump back in for the last hour.
Before 5.
Very good example of how I work. You know, you asked me what we're going to do, and I couldn't really tell you. As soon as we started this, I realized she needed to be drilled on the vocabulary the second hour, and I saw exactly how it should happen. Once I watched her move, and I was like, what does she need to know? And then everything we did came from that hit, right? And that's everything I do is some form of improvisation, right? And as I got more into the spiritual work and whatever, I realized like it's just channeling. Like improvisation is making stuff up, but I didn't improvise body juggling. Like I channeled it. It's coming from some other dimension, and it already existed. People on other planets are doing it, or something. You know, it's like this all existed before me. I just heard it, you know. And whenever I try to fit what I do into a model that someone else wants because that's what will make them comfortable, it immediately gets weird, and I start getting nervous and trying to remember things, and then I can feel I'm making stuff up, and then when we go through it, I feel like have you ever been to a speech and somebody's reading to you? Mm-hmm. And the whole audience is like, oh my God, you know, it's like, what am I in Bible class again? No, nobody came to hear you read, they came to hear you speak. But if you're reading, your energy is totally different, and it's not connected to them. They can tell they're not relevant. If I plan what I'm trying to do, it feels like that. It feels like I'm reading to an audience of people that doesn't care. If I don't plan what I'm going to do, I have to keep their attention, and I have to be aware of whether I have their attention or not. And if I lose it, I can feel it. If I'm reading, I have no idea. If I'm going by some playbook and some of this is, you know, whatever. And so that's my challenge with Sunstone, is that Sunstone wants robots. They want carbon copy, and I should say Brandon, because Sunstone is 2 people. Brandon wants that carbon copy thing. You cannot carbon copy spontaneity. You cannot, you know, we can give them a version of that, but it's not going to be my energy. It's not going to be true to what I do, and I would never teach like that. And so my challenge is how do we bridge
certified people?
How do we bridge that gap? Well, certifying people is simple because it's just a question of do you know these things? Yes. Okay, good. But it's like, where is the line between people having the freedom to be themselves and discover and play and create, which is all this is. This is play. This is not Pilates. This is not, you know, like regimented, like whatever. And I don't ever want it to become that. If some people want to, like Pilates teachers might want to teach it like that, that won't hurt my feelings. But that's not what body juggling is to me, you know. And so it's trying to discover how to keep that life to it, how to keep that organic growth, potential, play. Like, I'm not trying to make Bikram yoga, I'm trying to make skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing.
I think that's easier with workshops, with group classes or whatever, but when it's trying to come up with a program that can be the teacher training module or whatever, in Sunstone case where they want like something specific where, okay, we have 12 people come in, this is, you know, it's not one-on-one attention, it's not feeling one person's energy, it's feeling 12 people's energy. How do you work with that? Like if there's a set, in their case, how they have like a set program of what they do, how they do it, I think they're just so used to teaching that way.
But it's not just the movements being the same, okay? And that's my least resistance. I have the least resistance to movements being the same. And that is about the fact that yoga is not fitness. It's not calisthenics. Yoga is stretching. It's opening the body, and it makes perfect sense to do the same yoga stretches every time because you need to open the joints in the same way every time you do it. Fitness does not work that way. And if you do the exact same things every time in fitness, you start losing the growth because the body adjusts. So fitness is all about changing. You got to change this and change that. And you got to up the ante. You got to make the challenge bigger. You got to pull it back. And so Les Mills has done it very well. Like, so it obviously can work. But I've never gone to a Les Mills class in my life. I have no interest in it. I'm going to soon just to take notes. And
you said people eat it up, right?
Say what?
You said the clients eat it up.
Oh, people love it. People love it. The teachers hate it.
Right.
The teachers hate it. The clubs love it, and the clients love it. And it's, you know, it's that people want to know what they're getting, you know, scenario that Sunstone has tapped into. But there is a middle ground. There is a middle ground, and so the sequences being the exact same is part of a resistance of mine. But more importantly, it's the robotic way of teaching terminology and verbiage, and every person's going to say the same stuff in every class. That is, I have more resistance to that because number one, it makes the instructors inconsequential. It turns them into automatons. Number two, it gives them no ability to experiment, create, discover anything. And number two or three, even I don't use the same words every time I do it, right? I use different words different times, like, right? So it's like, and I've asked you several times specifically how you would break down drip down, and it was to see how similar it was each time. And I know that, you know, after 5, 6, 7 times, you'll start to say the same thing every time, and that thing will have been naturally, organically created, as opposed to me telling you the words to say, and you're trying to memorize my words. You know what I'm saying? So that feels like a much more natural, you know, process. And so yeah, it's the whole thing is a discovery, and that's what play is. Play is discovery. Play is growth, and I cannot take that out of this practice. I won't do it. That's one of the reasons I tattooed the logo on my back. Nobody's going to put it in a box and tell me what it is. Like, it's coming through me, and it's going to decide what it wants to be, just like every living entity gets to figure out what it is for itself. You don't get to tell your child who they're going to be. And the more you try, the worse your relationship is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're discovering, and I love it. Super fun. Great job. Booyah! All right, break time.